My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system, which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. See thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com.
All right, you got minions patrolling, 8GKJ217, the City of Ontario in the dumpster truck, and City of Ontario with 1621098, crossing path, driving in the same directed light under the fake sun that's positioned over me, where the minions, those are the entity, that's the entity acting in utility vehicles, municipality vehicles. 8XFU616. This is one entity acting together, doing so under what is the direct evidence, by the way, of what is a fake sun. The fake sun that remains over me where it is that I sleep and get up in the morning, and then following me to what is the city of Upland, as I documented yesterday, and remaining literally over the building of the specific venue of the Upland Public Library, remaining on that block. And this is, by the way, it is currently 7:42 a.m. That documentation, you're going to remember what I just documented on, let's use Sunday. The fake sun is over me while I'm showing the fake sun over the city of Upland, over the minions that are the people of the state, and I'm documenting their addresses as I'm identifying the people of the state at a venue where I'm subject to surveillance. License 8PDV128. You have what is the entity, and that's just one day. But like I said, it is exclusive to what is the January 27, 2022, being in the city of Pomona, January 30th even, 2022, where I go from Ontario to Pomona. And you have what is the entity while I is remaining over me with a fake sun in the city of Upland for the duration of the day up until on video documentation 5:12 p.m. and showing you what is at 9:02 a.m. and remaining on the same block as I even go to what is the third-party facilitating venues of the people of the state in the city of Upland. Understand that all I am doing is advancing what is west on that same block of space, not advancing beyond what is Arrow Highway and staying in between what is 9th Street, where the light source remains from 9:02 a.m. until 5:12 p.m. as a matter of record, which you can see with your own eyes. The demons that are the city of Ontario who are monitoring and witnessing my documentation, 8PCJ087, intentionally crossed path. They're going to federal prison as well. They engaged in criminal summoning. I want to be clear. Demons engage in specific conduct as they are also witnessing me document. 8HMF800. That is also the municipality that is stalking indirect light under the fake sun. 7F87161. And I want to be clear, the third party who was documenting, she's acting as an entity, and that's why you have what are more minions that engage in crossing a path, impossible light activity. This is terrorism as it's documented by a municipality. That's a municipality engaged in kidnapping, the criminal summoning that the city of Ontario engaged in while stalking at the Ontario Museum of History and Art, as is a matter of documented criminal activity already by this municipality, is the same one that is stalking with knowledge of where it is that I'm sleeping, which you also know because this is not the actual sun that's over the venue of 630 North Fern, where these minions are stalking in the path. Also, that indication of stalking is seen and evidenced by that directed light. While you're demonstrating your demon possession, you will be prosecuted as the terrorist that you are. Monitoring, minions, license REEDZ, license 7RZN417, license 8XOL640, license same exact directed light conduct, license plate 6MBD452. And while these demons drive by, the entity engaging in what is that terrorism, vibrating the vehicle. I want to be clear, this is demonic activity. It's also demonic when they are driving by with directed light. It's also demonic while that which is not the actual sun, that's Satan itself, is remaining over me. 7EQC292, 7HCN992, 7LEW880. License 8HQC878. License 77234A1. Woodside Senior Apartments, third-party facilitating venue, 8ROY042. and touching with directed light while they drive by on G Street. Impossible light activity. That's the conduct of the sex offender. So I want to make sure I spell out. I captured an image of the city of Ontario crossing path with a dumpster truck. You have what is the vehicle behind it, the 8GC license plate that I recited. These are nothing but the municipality that hopped into a vehicle. They're sitting in the front seats and in the back seats. They hopped into a vehicle in order to cross path to engage in stalking together. And then you have what is the city of Ontario and another utility truck. Those are the images that I'm capturing. And this is the entity that's engaging in what is knowledge as to by documentation and hopping in to engage in stalking and terrorism. 8YOC 560. And BSDNA 77, 8NAW 854, 6 P.O.C 481. And it's 7:46 a.m. This is the entity stalking under what is a fake sun that's at 630 North Fern. My documentation showing what is the remaining of this light source having already being in an entirely distinct location and remaining that time. I'm referencing what is January 22nd, 2022. All right, you're not over what is 630 North Fern, which you're looking at on video, right? BU61 U05 paper, and also at the same time remaining at the venue, which also is, again, right over me where I'm at. And what is the coexisting? Directed light that's just manifesting out of nowhere, just appearing in the shade. This is demonic. All right, this is criminal monitoring, and that is all captured in video, by the way. But also, you're going to remember, not only am I showing you what's not possibly the sun, I have the documentation remaining at this same street over me, where I am, for the duration of the day. This is evidence that already exists. But like I said, also, the ongoing evidence also that exists is the light source remaining over me in entirely different location at the same time. All right. This is the pattern of conduct, and you're also witnessing what are demons who are stalking. Stalking by maintaining, you're stalking while you're in what is your third party facilitating venue where you live, by the way. 630 North Fern is a stalker. The people of the state stalking relevant position on behalf of a government that's engaged in surveillance. 6YQZ 753. But let me be clear. 8YQR 494. Let me be clear. These minions are literally stalking, hiding behind the truck, and you're hiding behind the truck when I'm documenting what is not the sun that's over me, what is directed light on the street, what is directed light touching and moving about while another demon's crossing paths. 7PIT 822. And this is also very helpful. This is what speaking, well, it's not a matter of being helpful. It's also informative, helpful to you. All right. Because when I'm speaking of what is the malice of the people of the state, the psychopaths, the delusional, dangerous psychopaths who are criminally placing you under surveillance, that is this demon who you hear on podcast threatening my safety while she's engaged in criminal summoning, which I documented on podcast. Okay, because I want you to hear it. 1478300. That's an African American male driving the city of Ontario dumpster truck, just patrolling around, stalking in a dumpster truck. License 8JHH868. That's an Asian male driving a black vehicle, driving in directed light, and also directed light coming toward me while they're crossing path in the shade. Like I said, you have what is this minion that's hiding behind the vehicle, which you see on video. That's exactly what they're doing, and that's exactly what's ongoing, stalking activity, and doing so not coincidentally while I'm capturing this video, and then using the vehicle to engage in pacing, okay? That's what she's doing, and she is crossing path. This is the pattern of conduct by the demon that is documented as engaging and waging a threat as an entity while she is monitoring me, harassing as an entity while she is monitoring and stalking me, and doing so with what is the United States Postal Service this particular night, the same demons who I captured yesterday, engaging in monitoring as the federal government, stalking and terrorizing under the fake sun in the city of Upland, as I documented all of the people of the state of those venues where I happen to be at. But again, prosecution is going for what is larger than those, even those specific addresses that I identified. 8NTJ799, because you're talking about what is relevant positioning. All right, the zone of relevant positioning spans a radius. So anyway, you have what is this particular demon that engaged in summoning what is the Ontario Police Department. And this is what I specifically pointed out in that video. These are the psychopaths that are engaging in criminal activity, monitoring your documentation, and then Satan itself, because that's what the demon-possessed are. This is the conduct of Satan. 8M98943 is then hostile and engaging in more terrorism and hostility, which is an ongoing threat to your life. An impermissible threat is how it is referred to under the law, for which you shall be prosecuted. 88356H2. It's the conduct of Satan, and the policy that I advocate is speaking to the ways in which you shall be able to, under federal law, restrain Satan, who is very real, revealing demonic activity while criminal conduct is underway. License. Let's see, demons pacing 7LKE316, 7WHE568. License 424DB handicap. And this same pace and conduct is what's ongoing while I'm inside of the vehicle, by the way. And the entity is engaging in maintaining a fake sun over me, moving directed light inside of the car, and engaging in what is a vibration of the vehicle. None of this is, no traffic is creating an earthquake, okay? This is demonic while they are engaging in crossing paths, stalking 8VBJ571, 8UPV168. And this is video that I captured. And so like I was stating, you have what is the entity maintaining a fake sun over me, and documentation already exists with regard to the absence of this light source at what is the Vineyard Avenue and Hope Boulevard Starbucks. That's where I'm particularly at. I am also documented at what is remaining for a series for a prolonged period, and then getting on public transportation, that is Omnitrans, the third party, and going to what is the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, which is remaining for that period of time. So I want to make sure that I document that. This is January 22nd, 2022. This is documentation that is already published, and that is the direct evidence with regard to what is federal prison. She's going to federal prison when she engaged in calling the police. 5M00180 and 8KHM258, just engaging in a standstill in relevant position at 403 West G Street. These are demons that are focused on me and what I'm doing. Not only are they monitoring, they're listening to me prosecute a demonic colleague, but they're subject to the same federal charges. You're going to be prosecuted as one engaging in repeated acts of kidnapping, attempted kidnapping, theft of property while you're monitoring with the government, engaging in what is ongoing harassment and terrorism, and a perpetual sex offender. This is just some of that which is relevant to an entity engaging in that criminal system. These demons whose license plate I'm reciting, they're stopping on opposite sides of the same car, sitting in front of me while they're listening to me identify this demon that engaged in criminal summoning. And you have, again, what was that absence of coincidence while that demon engaged in criminal summoning? Arrival of the demon-possessed Officer Burnett, who engaged in kidnapping with Tracy Banks. All right. We're also the same entity that engaged in this conduct. I'm also capturing what is the, upon criminal summoning, the Ontario police who are present, and then engaging in what is the molestation with directed light. And that's how you see what is that demonic pattern by law enforcement. The same demons wearing uniforms, bearing badges of law enforcement. 8KHM258, AP68D01. That's a paper plate. I want to be clear, this is all speaking to what is an ongoing pattern of conduct and stalking with what is not possibly the sun. And then what happens while the state keeps a fake sun over me and I go now to what is, for example, the city of Upland, or as I did on Sunday, to the city of Fontana, you have what is the entity keeping a fake sun over me over whatever venue that I remain there. All right. This is the entity engaging in what is literally just stalking with light. That's exactly what the demons, as I'm reciting their license plates, doing so in what are commercial vehicles, doing so in what are their own vehicles, such as 7YDB973. That's a demon. Doing so in what are vehicles representing the municipality, stalking, terrorizing, sexually molesting, terrorizing while you're monitoring the documentation. These are stalkers of that condition, which is demon possession, who are also aware of the fact that their criminal activity, their demented conduct is being tabulated. Okay. So like I said, it's 753 a.m. All right. That is what is so spectacular about this documentation, and showing what's the fake sun, 8YKF158, in a position where it remains for hours later after the time, as I showed yesterday, leaving as I leave through the window, as the vehicle departs from this address at 8:14 a.m. But again, like I said, the documentation shows the fake sun remains, and that's how I'm able to capture what I did on Sunday, the state's fake sun remaining. You're talking about up until the 10 o'clock hour. 7RCZ178, you're talking about 9:58, 9:59 a.m., which I used to remind you about what was the fake sun over what is the fireplace and barbecue in the city of Upland, as I captured at the same time 7ZNB455. And where was I on Sunday at this time? In Ontario, leaving from what is this address where the fake sun remained, and you're looking at what is the chiropractor's office. All right, that I've already documented where the state's fake sun, 4PGL107. The state's fake sun is over me while she is driving on what is Laurel in the city of Ontario, which is not coexisting. That's not the actual sun. It's the ongoing documentation, direct evidence of stalking with a fake sun, which is a facilitation of a demon-possessed people who are engaged in surveillance. This same fake sun because it's not the actual sun. This is Satan itself remaining over me at this address in the morning, and then just remaining over me wherever it is that I go. All right. It is currently 7:55 a.m. This is the entity that's engaging in stalking somebody where it is that I sleep, 5NBF986. This is the obsessed stalker that is acting as an entity. The obsessed stalker is demon possessed. The obsessed stalker is engaging in what is terrorism, while that directed light coexists with every location where I am being followed by this entity. Sparklets, 877455. Can't really see the rest of them. That's third-party Sparklets, crossing path. License 8YDW038. It is currently 7:55 a.m. And let me get these demons that are coming at G Street. You have what are the people of the state, these little minions, these teenagers with communication devices, stalking in the path with the government, with the people of the state. All right, license 6VSH050. That's what's significant about what I documented yesterday at what is the Western Christian School. I want to be clear. You were talking about the fake sun that's over the venue, that's over what's supposed to be termed as a church. It's not a church. Satan itself is hovering. GEDI 316, license 1407503. That is Ontario Montclair School District. 8GDH 794, 7TAR 057, 396072, I believe. 8UTG 537 in Ontario Montclair School District, engaging in that act of terrorism while a demon is driving that school bus, stalking an American citizen, monitoring and facilitating monitoring, while you have what is directed light across the asphalt on the side of the street where remember, it's impossible light activity, and that impossible light activity is concentrated on where I am located, and that's why directed light is streaming backwards toward me on the passenger side of that bus while it is driving east on G Street. Okay, stalking in the path, M127DO, and engaging in that. That's the Ontario Montclair School District. And let me be clear, demons that are under the age of 18 on these buses that are being driven by demons are monitoring with communication devices, GERYDER 6W53229, in the same way that that's the third party engaged in criminal summoning that is under the fake sun that remains. And then you have the city of Ontario and the rest of these demons who I'm documenting now. Spectrum 04986G2. Directed light streaming across the street to touch me while they're crossing path on G Street. This is what they're doing at nightfall as well. Directed light streaming into the vehicle while they are driving on a street that's not their headlights. It's the same directed light conduct. And it is 7:57 a.m. 7K. Hold on, let me get this. 7KHJ732. And that is, again, molestation engaged in by not only the actors that I documented already. That's Spectrum sounding the vehicle to create audible activity, patrolling in the street, going to third-party facilitating venue wood sites in your apartments. License plate 8AKK829. And it is 7:58 a.m. This is P.O.C. That's conduct on behalf of an entity, facilitating monitoring with communication devices. 4KRP191, occurring under what is a fake sun and indirected light. Okay, this is P.O.C. All right, this minion who already documented her license plate, she is loitering in relevant position in the vehicle while Spectrum is providing that audible activity. Again, you're recalling the fake sun remains over, and directed light is even appearing in the shade for purposes of the criminal and demonic conduct of demons who are crossing path on both G Street and on Fern Avenue. And this minion remains seated in the vehicle. As I stop recording and go to my function, she walks out, which is crossing path. This is stalking with activity. Monitoring with Spectrum in this regard as well. But I want to be clear, they're monitoring with the people while directed light is repeatedly being aimed toward me while these demons cross path, including 7BBK 843. And it is 7:59 a.m. P.O.C. All right, I am documenting what is the stalking conduct by Tracy Banks. It's currently 9:28 a.m. She is maintaining presence on behalf of the entity. She's doing so in concert with the people of the state, and she supposedly, this is her form. Understand, everything that she's doing is with regard to knowledge of what I'm documenting, and there is no getting out of what is the documented fact of what is not the sun that's over me. And so she drops me off at the B&G Plaza, which is mutually exclusive to what is a fake sun that's over me in the city of Upland, by the way, where everywhere that I was at, including at this time. I am at this time, after capturing the video at 9:02 in the morning, the fake sun is over me. I'm walking through, documenting license plates, and I'm also showing what is the fake sun as I'm over the venues, walking through that neighborhood. And then I go to the Upland Public Library. Anyway, this is documentation that's not new, just documenting more people specifically by name and address. And so with regard to what is her knowledge, the futility of getting out of what is documentation that's serving to prosecute an entity, dropping me off at the B&G Plaza stating that, oh, I got to go to work. They called me at the last minute, so I'm going to have to drop you off at the B&G, or at the liquor store, which is Showers Liquor, B&G Plaza in Ontario. So I remain in Ontario right now, which is what I captured images of while the pattern of conduct is underway, but I just want to speak to what is her remaining presence. 8KXZ072, I believe, 8ZNL630. Her remaining presence in conflict with what it is she's representing. She has to go. She can't drop me off down the street, but she is loitering in relevant position in front of the liquor store for the duration of my time as I complete a purchase, and then as I begin to document images with regard to the third parties that she's monitoring with, including the minion outside of Ontario Town Square Townhomes, creating flashing light. Tracy Banks is monitoring me with that minion, 7FPW874, both of whom are under what is the fake sun that's remaining in Ontario and is mutually exclusive. It's not over, that's not the sun as I document over the venues, third-party facilitating venues of the people of the state in the city of Upland, okay? 8MKC222, 8SDP586. And it's 9:30 a.m. And so with regard to those images that I'm capturing, you're going to remember specifically, not only I've already heavily documented, for example, if you want to break it down, I'm isolating the city of Ontario, where the entity is engaging in surveillance for purposes of understanding a pattern of conduct that is identical and seamless no matter where you are. That is what surveillance is. It's terrorism by a people. You're understanding what's demonic activity. That's why that identical demonic environment, that environment which is identical and is also demonic, follows, which is terrorism, 89382W2, the conduct of what are an entity stalking with directed light, which is impossible, yet occurring as I'm isolating it from city to city, if you will, if you want to look at it a big picture like this. The light source is remaining over me, 9:27 a.m. while I'm already at the Upland Public Library as a matter of published documentation. I'm capturing these still images at this time, okay, and the fake sun is over the B&G Plaza. But just to point out an example, but like I said, the light source is over me at 9:02 a.m. at Allure Image yesterday. The Farrah Forster image at venue at 188 North Euclid Avenue in the city of Upland, California. And then I remain between the specific block of D Street and Arrow as I document what are third-party facilitating venues where the people of the state are in relevant position, including apartment complexes, whatever house. The light source remains over me. I remain subject to what is directed light. That is speaking to an ongoing pattern of conduct. The state is amplifying plaintiff. The P.O.C. is underway, and it is documenting personally and identifying personally that entity that is acting on a massive scale on behalf of a government and having no shelter whatsoever from being documented and subject to that prosecution from which there is no legal excuse. You're understanding what is literally the demonic that's underway while criminal activity is being revealed, all right, is underway. So license, this is City of Ontario that's captured in relevant position while Tracy Banks is loitering. License 1547708 at Ontario Town Square Townhomes. The same City of Ontario that was patrolling under the fake sun that remained, by the way, after 9 a.m. over the same block where I showed you at 7:40 this morning. It's 9:32 a.m. And I'm showing you what is that pattern of the people of the state stalking in the path with light activity. And this is the City of Ontario, again, with license 1547708. My documentation of the City of Ontario is documentation of the City of Upland. This is a prosecution of a government. I have shown for purposes and what is necessary and what is actually at the disposal of a normal human being who is documenting what it is that they are exposed to as they are witnessing it, which is what documentation is. That which you are witnessing, you are accumulating as a matter of evidence in order to prosecute for what is stalking. This happens to be stalking by government. So, in other words, what I am stating is, while I am documenting a government engaging in what is stalking and monitoring, and doing so in concert with the people of the state, I am simultaneously documenting Upland. So, in other words, Tracy Banks, who was loitering in relevant position while stating that her reason for keeping me in Ontario is because she has to rush off to work. While she is not rushing, she is loitering and doing so under what is a fake sun. So this is directly rebutting anything that this demon is stating, while she is also engaging in what is harassment, as I'm documenting her criminal conduct, which is a threat to my life, while she's engaging in this pattern of conduct. All right, so I want to be clear. She is loitering as opposed to what is her form for keeping me in Ontario, which is in no way deterring or stopping, slowing down, what is a prosecution and the identification of many minions in the city of Upland, which is the prosecution part. I'm prosecuting a state. All right. I just want to break that down again. There is no getting out of the pattern of conduct. There is no avoiding what is that prosecution. You cannot stop. When you're talking about a government that's engaged in surveillance, by the way, by the nature of the crime, the actor, the identity of the actor, you are talking about what is 8KTD 895, while the government is maintaining presence all around you. So the government is stalking in Ontario, California. The government is stalking in Upland, California. While I have documented the stalking conduct of Upland, the city of the government, while I'm in the city of Upland, while I remain in the city of Ontario, it is ongoing confirmation of what was indeed captured, which was stalking in the city of Upland. And it's vice versa. It's an ongoing. This is the beauty of what is documentation. That's why you get it as a matter of record. All right, and so. Anyway, I just wanted to document that, and what I'm capturing in still images is speaking to documentation that I've already published with what is a light source that is not at the same time remaining over the B&G Plaza while I am facing the parking lot, facing the Charles Liquor Store, and also at the same time over the monument of the veterans who are literally the ground space that demons are walking all over while they're literally defecating all over the Constitution that these veterans supposedly died for. 8JMW877 and UPS monitoring also 40757K2. UPS also monitoring on the opposite side of the street in another large truck while you're hearing amplified audible activity of a plane flying over me at Holt and Euclid in Ontario, while a fake sun is moving over what is 150 East Holt Boulevard. I've already documented this city. 8WTP 656, I believe. And this is mutually exclusive. Being over 150 East Holt is not at the same time nor coexisting. It's mutually exclusive. This is the light source over me, remaining at 630 North Fern, where I was outside of the venue, showing you the fake sun at 740, and remaining until the vehicle that I'm inside of moved, all right, to the B&G Plaza, and now moving up the street, as I've already documented, by the way, in the afternoon of February 4th, 2022, and on the morning of February 5th, 2022. It is currently 9:36 a.m. This is P.O.C. Ontario Fire, captured on video, stalking, doing so again, 1332569. License 8A79438. It is 9:36 a.m. 23179W2 8TGK058. I do want to remind you with regard to what I document also, not only is this revealing, again, that's the light source that I remain subject to targeting with. It's not the actual sun. This is documentation of what is terrorism, in other words, while an entity is stalking and monitoring with communication devices in violation of Title 18, Section 2261A. You're going to recall January 22nd, 2022, 7SXK 458, 8WSM 551, 7RFC 411, 04961A1, 8TTL 526, 45492T2, 8YNP 909, 7YTA 048, 7LRP 238, 34735U1, 7JHJ 032, 7YNB 404, M Hart KAYLA, 7JXU 519. Omnitrans going southbound on Euclid Avenue, monitoring as well, 86085E1, 75010B3, 6HSX. Can't really see the rest of that one. 8SVK351, 8WPS733. License 6YCC954, 8A587. Handicap 7MYK379. License 8SHJ248, and you have what is a minion maintaining presence at the bus stop where the molestation with directed light is ongoing while these demons are patrolling at Holt and Euclid. License plate BU67H31. This is a paper plate, and it's 9:38 a.m. Like I'm stating, with regard to January 22nd, 2022, you're going to remember 9:47 a.m. is when I am on the bus after remaining at the Starbucks at Holt Boulevard and Vineyard Avenue. That is an entirely distinct and not in any way coexisting, not visible at all. Certainly not going to be any of this quote-unquote sunlight. It's not sunlight, it's directed light, but you're not going to see any of that quote-unquote sunlight that you see on the street, while that which is supposedly the sun is over me while I am at the Starbucks at 111 North Vineyard Avenue on January 22nd as of 7:35 in the morning. Remember that day, I remain at that venue, 8VDG 937, 8DBY 134, license 8S23081. I remain at that venue for a prolonged period, and then as I go to the bus stop on Holt Boulevard, I get on the bus, and I capture video of what is the light source that is not anywhere in this direction. It is moving as I move, which is west on Holt Boulevard, from that vantage point of what is Vineyard and Holt, as it remained as of 7:35 in the morning, which is a matter of video documentation. Not in any way going to be the actual sun. This is the ongoing demonic presence of a light source remaining over me in concert with what is directed light, while demons such as 6FWM246 stalk in the path, 8ZXN585, 5RDPO23, PHPI, 8XSU646, 7LXL170, 7ROE322. And as I'm showing you what are the still images of the fake sun over the B&G Plaza, 8NIB063, license plate, that's what that is, 5YCU851, 8ZOT761, CA2ZT17, I believe, that's a paper plate, 8NND966, 8KYB253. BV702, that's a handicap. And as I'm showing you images of the fake sun over the B&G Plaza in the city of Ontario, first of all, again, you're understanding that's nowhere near the city of Upland. There's no consistency there with regard to what is a light source that's not the sun, indicated in this regard. Also, you're talking about what is the absence of the light source that is, again, inconsistent and not present where it would be. You're talking about relevant to and revealed through what's the time of day and the location. It's hovering over the Shiro's Liquor. It's hovering over the vehicle as I'm en route to that B&G Plaza. That is a polar opposite from and impossible to coexist with remaining stationary while I'm at the venue of the Starbucks on January 22nd, 2022, then getting on a bus and not arriving to what is Lemon and Holt on Omnitrans. 9:47 a.m. is when I'm showing that. And the light source is moving in the westward direction. All right. License plate 8HRC141, 8WNM680. That light source is moving in the westward direction because it is remaining over me while I am at the intersection of Vineyard and Holt Boulevard in Ontario, at no time ever coexisting with being anywhere over my head while I'm walking through the neighborhood in Upland, California, as I was yesterday at that time, which I captured 9:47 in the morning. Okay, I believe I was actually specifically at what is the street of Laurel. And in the city of Upland, not the Laurel, in the city of Ontario. And I captured a specific image at that time and even referenced that. That's exactly what is the revealing of that pattern of conduct that's underway. License plate 62259P2. So I want to be clear. This is indeed the P.O.C. and this is that demonic system that's underway, and it is a very clearly established pattern of conduct. It is so impossible that it is nothing other than what is that allegation, 7URB891. That's how you have, again, what is a fake sun and directed light. It's so specific, it's so impossible, and yet it is objectively revealed before your eyes. 7BEU789, 8EEY319. One Omnitrans arriving right now. 6HGN011 is another third party. Omnitrans bus number 1325, and it is 9:42 a.m. Already it is 9:44. I'm on bus number 1325. Directed light is on the sidewalk while the bus of Omnitrans stops and I get on. This is the same thing as what is directed light, just manifesting on the ground, which you clearly see, which is often in the shade. Inexplicable light that's just appearing on the surface where demons are driving over it. This is crossing path and direct. This is indirect light. This is stalking light. This directed light is on the sidewalk as I am getting on the bus of Omnitrans 7JXC519. And then also the ongoing conduct of what is stalking with directed light while demons drive by the bus. And directed light also cycling on the bus. And of course, as I've already captured on video, which was February 5th, 2022, as I get on the Route 83 bus going northbound, the fake sun is moving northbound up Euclid Avenue. All right, 4SEH196, a line of directed light moving across the window while this demon is stalking in traffic, 8NYN 465 at Euclid Avenue and G Street, where, by the way, I was already present this morning showing you what is the fake sun on video while coming from the venue of 325 West G Street, 630 North Fern, 403. These are the people of the state that reside at this zone of relevant positioning, 8HJE 962, where the fake sun remain. So anyway, this is that the pattern of conduct as I'm speaking to it as I get on the bus, and it is while I get on the bus, which is bus number 1325. These are minions. These are the demon possessed who are on a bus, patrolling on the bus. Directed light is on the bus. A directed light is being concentrated onto the bus while demons outside of the bus are crossing path in vehicles. And going up to the bus right now, he's crossing path while he's on the bus. All right, this is the pattern of conduct that's underway. And the fake sun is remaining in the window. Again, as I have already documented on video on February 5th, 2022, but you've seen the pattern of conduct countless times, but it is the same thing. It's 9:46 a.m. headed what is northbound to the city of Upland on Euclid Avenue, which is speaking to the light source that remains over me and is not already over any house in the city of Upland, contrary to what I documented yesterday and what I have already documented with regard to what is stalking with a fake sun. A very real concept, very real with regard to revealing demonic activity and criminal conduct by an entity. It's 9:46 a.m. and this is P.O.C. This is Route 83, bus number 1325. It's driven by a Latino male, and they are not displaying what is the employee name. I will get the license plate, and it is 9:47 a.m. P.O.C. Alrighty, the employee number is revealed as 3606. This is again a Latino male, and the driver of the vehicle that is engaging in interstate stalking with the people of the state, doing so representing a company. This is all that is included with regard to the state using such companies, such employees of companies, and doing so on a massive scale using public transportation to engage in state surveillance and terrorism. It's 9:47 a.m. Again, that's employee number 3606. 8VVY 200. 6ABV 446.
6th Street.
Ontario Police Group stalking. That was Euclid Avenue and let's see, True Jesus Church. So we're approaching. This is, what street is this? 6th Street. They're sitting on the side of the street on the opposite side, the southbound side of Euclid Avenue, right next to what is a house. And the red light we're at right now is 6th Street and Euclid. So they are one block what is south of 6th Street, and using the police vehicle, aiming it toward the street, which is facilitating conduct for demons such as 5GCA 861, who represents a communication device, stalking in the path while the fake sun remains over the bus. This is how you're understanding an entity is targeting you. That's Ontario Police engaging in the pattern of conduct. It's 9:49 a.m. Alrighty, capturing what is the relevant positioning of security paving. They're wearing the bright yellow security paving jackets, and they're in relevant position on the sides of the freeway. These are the same minions creating light activity. 6W26000 is a license plate over here. This is a company engaging in stalking in the path, and you see the fake sun right over those minions who are wearing hard hats. Does not matter, by the way, simply whatever it is that they look like they're doing, they're stalking. 7JHV200, and they are monitoring, by the way, with Ontario Police, who are stalking in the path using the police vehicle as a means of light activity creation. And I also captured what is the fake sun, even though I've already documented this before, but just to be sure. License, just to be sure, as you see exactly what it is that I'm describing, 27223C3. And the light source is remaining in the window of the bus that is going northbound of Euclid Avenue, not already present in the city of Upland over any house in that neighborhood between the blocks of D Street and Arrow Highway in the city of Upland, which is where I was walking yesterday. It is 9:50 a.m.
8th Street.
Light activity being created by Ontario municipalities. Just sitting on the side of what is Euclid Avenue on the southbound side, using the utility vehicle as a means of light activity. Flashing lights. Those are demons. 7Z51148, 8SWE710. And the southbound of Euclid Avenue, the nearest intersection is 8th Street and Euclid. And there's an ARCO right here, third party facilitating venue ARCO, located at 193 South Euclid Avenue. This is P.O.C. 7SVX279. 7FTT264. FedEx is loitering in relevant position at the Mexican restaurant adjacent to Arco, in relevant position to monitor with that facilitating light activity. Also in relevant position while the bus is surrounded with directed light, filled with directed light. Minions are in relevant position around me, monitoring with communication devices with FedEx while the fake sun is over me on this bus. FedEx is indeed engaged in state surveillance and monitoring, and is a documented sex offender and terrorist engaging in that conduct. License, Dependable Highway Express, DHE, crossing path.
Stop.
Alrighty, at what is the Euclid Avenue and A Street, A as in apple. Yesterday at this time, and it's not just yesterday, I documented this before. If you recall my video documentation before I go into what I'm saying, it's not the first time. When I say I have thoroughly documented, I have thoroughly documented. But nonetheless, yesterday, 7SXU 095, I believe. Yesterday, I captured video and images while I am standing outside of the third-party facilitating venue, Allure Image. Again, at 188 North Euclid Avenue in the city of Upland at 9:02 a.m., where I arrived prior to that time. This is documented on my podcast. I'm getting license plates. I'm reciting about the Upland Police, and then I captured video at 9:02 a.m. using that specific time as an illustration, an example.
9th Street.
So I want to be clear, the light source is present, DFUZE11. The light source is present and arriving pursuant to my arrival on the Omnitrans bus. And what I documented in this regard already is the light source that is moving as I move on the, in the window of the vehicle while it's being driven north of Euclid Avenue. Let me get this license plate real quick. This is Omnitrans. Touching with directed light 1370396, and again that is bus number 1325, and that employee number as I recited 3606, and that is representation of what is a company that's engaging in what is that sexual violence while demons engage in stalking and touching with engineered light while they're monitoring. So like I said, I've documented yesterday 9:02 a.m. the state's big sun is already present in the city of Upland. Not only that, you have what is again, if that's the actual sun in the city of Upland over me at Allure Image, I'm not going to be able to capture it over the Shiro's Liquor, over the B&G Plaza, over my head while I'm showing you what is Tracy Banks monitoring me in concert with the people of the state, in concert with the demons of the city of Ontario. All right, I'm not going to be able to capture that light source. It would not be over me. It would not be over that building. It would be over adjacent to what is Allure Image, just like you clearly see at 9:02 in the morning yesterday. Okay, this is also, again, like I said, I have already documented this because the light source is over me while I'm in this same third party Tracy Banks, license 4WON432. At 8:51 a.m. in the morning, I'm documenting going north of Euclid Avenue, and at the time I was exemplifying what is the absence of the light source, the same conduct that is not already present over the venue of McDonald's at 100 East Foothill Boulevard. If that's the sun, then it's going to be over that venue at the same time on the next day or the day after that. And it's not. It's in the city of Ontario, leaving at whatever time that I leave from that venue. We're in the vehicle, as I showed you this morning at 7:40. You have what is conduct of following with the light source, not conduct of the actual sun as we know it, that is engaging in what is systematic movement that is predictable and consistent on a daily basis, not in any way individualized. Because again, as I showed you in my documentation, if I go to the Upland Public Library earlier in the day, the fake sun is there. That's why it's there at 9:27 a.m., 9:27 in the morning on one day. And today, when I'm not there at 9:27 a.m., I'm at the B&G Plaza. That's why it's over the B&G Plaza, captured. And that's mutually exclusive. It's not over both venues at the same time. Not capable of capturing that presence and maintaining presence over my head, by the way, at both venues at the same time. This is moving with the light source over me as I am at any location, speaking to what is targeting by a demon-possessed entity. Stalking with light is demonic. It is the presence of Satan, as you are aware of that light source. That is not the sun as we know it, the sun that we've been taught about, all right? It is revealing the demon possession of those who are engaging in a pattern of conduct which is criminal, placing one under surveillance in violation of existing federal law. This includes the government. It is revealing what is public corruption. This is the significance of revealing that impossibility that perpetually exists, the presence of a light source that is not the sun. This is speaking to the criminal activity that the San Bernardino County Fire Department is currently engaging in, all right, under that fake sun. That is arriving today after schedule at 9:54 a.m. And capturing the San Bernardino Fire Department. This is lights on the vehicle under the fake sun. This is license plate, directed light on the ground. and I've already captured these demons in their essence. No license plate on that San Bernardino County Fire Department vehicle. I did capture an image of it. You can see it is clearly San Bernardino Fire. It is the state acting directly, crossing path, engaging in terrorism, directed light on the ground while they are crossing path, and they're crossing path under what is not even the sun. They are demonstrating demon possession. And they're also engaging in terrorism with regard to engaging in stalking and monitoring one who is documenting it. And that's based on the nature of the crime. You're engaging in the pattern of conduct, and you are monitoring documentation, serving to prosecute you. That's going to be directly relevant to that. With regard to 9:57 a.m., which is the time now, I'm going to license plate of what is Bud Light, creating light activity at 7-Eleven at 204 North Euclid Avenue in Upland, California, with whom the fire department is monitoring. License of these Latino males crossing path 42555Y1 on a white pickup truck on surveillance cameras. This demon that was using its vehicle yesterday, an employee of 7-Eleven, whilst the Los Angeles County Sheriff was crossing path under the fake sun, which again was at a substantially earlier time. 8XET 911 is monitoring with San Bernardino County Fire Department with the Budweiser, who's creating, facilitating light, a demon using hazard lights. Okay. And this minion that's maintaining presence at the 7-Eleven at 204 North Euclid Avenue, group stalking at what is a gas stall number 4, and on surveillance cameras. It is 9:58 a.m. Alrighty, the license plate of this third party showing what is group stalking. That's license PXMW80. That's a Florida license plate, an old white man stalking in the path. And you have what is...
You don't have my permission.
You don't have my permission to be under the light. I don't have my permission to be engaging in interstate stalking, Satan. That's license PXMW80. I tell you, you're dealing with delusional psychopaths. I got something coming. Anyway, 4TN6361. That's Bud Light, who was monitoring with that third party. 8FPA873. And let me also break down something for you. First of all, this demon says that's the same conduct that Spectrum was engaging in, stalking under the fake sun at 630 North Fern, by the way. That's Bud Light. So let me show you what this demon is engaging in. First of all, saying anything to you is threatening your life. It's audible activity under the fake sun. You're stalking, and then you're also hostile because you're being documented. And that's exactly what's going to happen. The government's going to be documented, just like I'm doing. And while you want to further engage in that pattern of conduct, you shall be prosecuted accordingly. You want to say anything, you want to add on to that prosecution, you want to go to federal prison, that's your choice. All right, but you actually, you may not have a choice depending on the criminal fact pattern that is documented. This is Bud Light. Let me get this real quick. Hold on. All right, I just want to get that commercial for Bud Light. 4TN6361, engaging in terrorism and state surveillance with the people. And so this third party that wants to utter, first of all, what he is uttering is utterly ridiculous. Are you getting my... I didn't even hear what he said. Something about, are you getting my image, or something about his license plate, probably because I'm documenting him, which he already knows, not because I'm holding up my camera, getting the fake sun over him. This is a psychopath. Okay, out of the mouth of this minion, this is Satan speaking, a delusional psychopath. 8KUB457. And why a delusional psychopath? First of all, because you're a demon possessed, you're a stalker, you're a weirdo. Second of all, because you are actually engaging in criminal activity and you think that you are going to exercise any rights in doing so. What you're doing is not a secret anymore. It's going to be you're going to be prosecuted, and you're exercising what is some fictitious, you're making it up. You don't have any privacy. You're a criminal. And you're a weird one, which I'm telling every single last facet of that. Okay. So anyway, this minion talking about you don't have my permission. You don't have my permission to engage in what is state surveillance. What are you talking about? It's a matter of federal policy, by the way. Nobody has any permission to engage in that, which is exactly what you're doing. And engaging in what is then nicely creating audible activity and threatening and harassing. Oh, God bless you. Let me be clear. It does not change. That's the P.O.C. God bless you under the fake sun and in directed light, and while minions with license 6931OG3, who stops at parking stall number 5, gas stall number 5, stalking with light, using flashing lights at the gas stall under the fake sun, they're monitoring, okay? And it is a shame show of hostility. That's exactly how Satan acts, by the way. Smiling while they're monitoring you. How are you doing today, sunshine? It's audible activity. Recognize the faces of Satan. Recognize the malice with which psychopaths are engaging in the surveillance. Okay. So anyway, I just want to document that. That's and it's funny because it's entirely pathetic. It's license 49658D3. Alrighty, capturing this minion at the register. He's wearing the yellow jacket. This is the license 6931OG3, parking at gas stall number 5, engaging in group stalking. This is Gentry Brothers Incorporated. This is license number 397682, California 56204. and not only stalking under what is a light source that's over me at 204 North Euclid Avenue. Remember, I'm nowhere near 7-Eleven yesterday. I'm still walking through the neighborhood. You have what is the entity using Gentry Brothers stalking at this venue, engaging in state surveillance, engaging in the act of terrorism, stalking with light in the path. And I captured this demon that's at the register inside of 7-Eleven and wearing that yellow jacket, engaging in facilitation of criminal activity while inside of the venue conducting a purchase. And this is with regard to understanding that public corruption, that demonic activity that you are witnessing in plain sight. So it's breaking down what the demons are doing. License plate 6SCA 986. It's currently 10:03 a.m. $8WAS003 7MPF790. The 8W780D3 6XBJ322 6YTG511 8VEW522 7PBB171. Meeting to intersect. This is crossing path. License 2595OW2, and this is a stalker meeting, 7REN180, and this is another stalker meeting. This is license plate 8UYB856. Meeting at what is C Street in Euclid Avenue as I'm crossing the street. License 7MHN574. 735N49, that's Nevada. 8NUE376. 8TLS590. 6XYT725. 8VDC999. WKRBLR, I believe. $6XDR317. 7LJV437. 6VST383. Alrighty, it is currently 10:05 a.m. And as is already documented, meaning it's not only documented, I've already drawn, because I understand not only do I have to document a lot of times because you're leading the blind so that you may see, I have already pointed out ALXNOLI. I have already pointed out what is the presence on January 22nd at Ovid Family Community Library at 10:06 a.m. after leaving the Starbucks as of 7:35 in the morning. And the light source remains over me at that position in that city, mutually exclusive. It's not present. And I've also reminded you of what was, while pointing that out, February 5th, 2022, where I arrive at the Upland Public Library at 10:05 in the morning. And the fake sun is right here over me, just like it is right now as I'm walking up. So I'm going to show you what is 10:06 a.m. As I pointed out yesterday, even though this documentation already exists, February 5th, 2022 is already demonstrating that. That documentation captured, by the way, is relevant to what is documentation of what is not the sun, relative to not only that day, but you're talking about what is time of year. This is documentation of what is an environment, showing what is an impossible environment, showing what is not the sun. So it is not only serving the purpose of documenting on a day-to-day, showing you what is that incremental stalking on a day-to-day ceaseless basis, but what is the time of year, showing in all manner, every facet of what is not possibly the sun, revealing criminal activity by government, and that is engaging in what is to be understood terrorism in the U.S., where demonic activity, a demonic targeting system is underway. It's 10:07 a.m. I'm going to capture this video right now. All right, touching with direct light, 5GMH139. That's a demon. License plate 8RBB 872, 7ALM 863, 6LTG 545. They are all demons, okay? 8NOC 595, 6SEF 868, 8PJV 238. You have what is touching with impossible light activity, the mark of demon possession, the conduct of a sex offender, all right? One engaging in what is state surveillance, monitoring with a communication device, knowledge as to exactly who I am. This is also deduced through the environment where that is, which is not the actual sun, is over my head, which is the pattern regardless of what city or county that I'm in, regardless of how long I remain at a particular address. The sun, as it is supposed to be assumed, does not advance beyond that location. It remains over me. Okay, and so you have what is, and all of that revealed through that direct light, and the license plates of those third parties who are also crossing paths are demons as well. It's an entirely demonic environment, and this is a demonic behavior pattern that is engaged in by an entity. 7TLA941. It is currently 10:13 a.m., and I did capture that video starting at 10:07 a.m. Understand at 10:06 a.m. on January 22nd, 2022. I'm capturing video. This is video that's still going to be in motion at 10:07 a.m. On February 5th, 2022, where I'm capturing the fake sun as I arrive on the property, walking on the sidewalk, in front of the property of the Upland Public Library at 10:05 a.m. The light source is directly over the Upland Public Library. After arriving at the 7-Eleven, getting on the Omnitrans bus, and the light source, this is the same time where I'm capturing the video that is in progress. So I'm just speaking to what is indeed the same time, and you have what is going to be the identification and the positioning of a light source. If this was actually the sun, characteristic of the sun would be that which is placement over locations and relative to where it is that I'm at. So in other words, if this is the actual sun that's over the 280 North Limit Apartments in the city of Ontario, first of all, it's not going to remain there until after the 3 o'clock hour, which is documented conduct. The state keeping a fake sun in alignment with that entrance, aiming direct light into the depths of that entrance area, even into the hallway behind the elevator, which again is mutually exclusive to what is documented presence remaining over what is essentially D Street, aiming directed light into the venue of the Upland Public Library. That is concentrating light into a specific venue in an impossible manner, by the way. But this is mutually exclusive conduct. All right, so this is showing what is stalking with light, and it is achieving what you see on the streets: directed light across the building, cycling directed light inside of a building where I'm located. It is the same conduct. They're surrounding at all times with directed light while they are stalking in the path. That is walking all around, walking up and down the stairs, sitting in study rooms, walking in through the book stacks. All they're doing is stalking. And the maintenance of directed light is accomplishing that. It is the same thing when I'm outside or sleeping in a car or sleeping outside, wherever it is, or in a hotel room. You can name it. I've documented all of it. You're talking about what is the entity maintaining directed light. Directed light seen in impossible manners, very revelatory methods of stalking with directed light while I'm sleeping in any third-party innkeeper's property. This is a hotel. I've shown you that directed light, stalking with directed light. I've shown you that while I am literally sleeping outside at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. I've shown you that while I am sleeping in a car. And I'm documenting, again, also what is directed light that is, again, focusing on me where I am. And it's also impossible light. It is the same pattern everywhere that you're going. It's entirely demonic. It is a conduct of a sex offender. It's a conduct of a terrorist. It's a conduct of a criminal who is also monitoring with communication devices. So anyway, I did capture this video, and I just wanted to speak to what it is that I'm capturing and the significance of that. Yesterday, again, I'm nowhere near the Upland. I'm not on the sidewalk. I'm not even on the side of the street. I'm walking through the neighborhood. I'm documenting the people of the state of California in the city of Upland, where the light source is remaining over me, specifically over the addresses, directed light surrounding me while demons are crossing path, driving around me. And you have what is the light source that as I capture it at Arrow Highway, and you see it directly over the street sign as I am walking through that neighborhood and then advancing no more north than what is Arrow Highway. On Arrow Highway is when I come through that neighborhood, and I'm documenting the terrorism and stalking conduct by the United States Postal Service, who are using what is their form, engaging in stalking, delivering mail to third-party facilitating venues while directed light is moving all over those venues. They are monitoring me and doing so in concert with the demons who are patrolling in vehicles driving around. This is literally what I'm documenting on podcast while the fake sun remains over me, and I do capture video at those venues of 14 West Highway, 14 West Arrow Highway, 22 West Arrow Highway, and 34 West Arrow Highway in the city of Upland. This is where I'm capturing that video, and you see the light source directly over that street sign. And I'm pointing out what is the absence of the light source as it is while I am here earlier in the day, which is exactly what I captured, okay? I am here earlier in the day, and the light source is present over me in direct conflict with being over any house, which would be west of this location, west of this building, west of the roof, in other words, of the Upland Public Library, where the entity is keeping a fake sun and then keeping it in alignment with the what is the south side of the same library that faces D Street, which is what I'm capturing at 5:12 p.m. This is all manner of what is showing what is not the sun, and it is literally breaking. I mean, the entity literally just kept the fakes, because I remained in Ontario, parked outside of 325 West G Street, the fake sun, as I documented it earlier today, 7:40 in the morning. And you're going to remember January 22nd. That's not the sun. I can use any time of day. That's not the sun. It's already documented remaining over the Starbucks at 7:35 in the morning, and it remains there. But nonetheless, I'm capturing this video where it is that I'm sleeping. The light source is engaged in an ongoing departure, not characteristic of the sun, which would be present relative to that address, not hovering right over me where this address is, where I'm sleeping on this particular day, as opposed to what would be the actual sun and where it's located. And it wouldn't be hovering over that street where demons are stalking in the path with directed light as well, where they're hiding behind vehicles because they're stalking, and I'm using my phone. That's exactly what they're doing. And you are talking about what is the entity engaging in this maniacal and demonic pattern of conduct, which is criminal. The light source is, with regard to documentation, on January 22nd, like I stated, remaining over me at that Starbucks. Then I get on the bus. I arrive at Ovid Family Community Library at 10:06 a.m., which I capture on video. I'm reminding you about 10:05 a.m. when I'm in the city of Upland, arriving on the bus of Route 83, and I am in the city of Upland at the 7-Eleven and I get off at 9:47 a.m. and I'm reminding you about being on Holt Boulevard, driving in an absolute opposite direction, driving west on a bus coming from the Starbucks, passing B&G Plaza, and doing so at 9:47 a.m. And I'm arriving in the city of Upland, going northbound into the city of Upland, all right, where I remained at a bus stop, and the bus is going northbound. These are distinct. The light source, the positioning that it's remaining over me, the movement that is, and that central position over me is inconsistent with what is naturally going to occur, with what is possible to occur if this was actually the sun. And so you're talking about what is no way being over the 280 North Lemon Apartments and remaining there, which is the pattern, the documented pattern. All right, I'm not just saying it. I've already documented. The light source remains wherever it is that I remain all day long, which is exactly what you saw yesterday. That's why it's here in the morning. Here I'm in the city of Upland at the Overfront. That's why it was just here at 5:12 in the evening. Okay, and that's Pacific Standard Time. All right, so like I said, 7:40 in the morning. That's pretty darn close to what is rising. And I put that in air quotes because this is not the actual sun as we know it. These are concepts. These are ideas. These are notions that are put in our head with regard to the environment. This is satanic control of the environment, and it's entirely serving a criminal purpose, which the people of the state and entity is directly engaging in. And so the light source at 7:40 in the morning, that's the beginning of the day. And where is it at the beginning of the day? It's right over me. And this is what you can walk away with. And where is it at 5:12 p.m.? This is essentially the end of the day. And it's also mutually exclusive to where I'm documenting the end of the day. For example, while I'm inside of the Dunkin' Donuts at 355 South Mountain Avenue, you're talking about what is inside of and in the parking lot of the Fontana Lewis Library. You're talking about what is on the Omnitrans bus heading eastbound to the city of Fontana on San Bernardino Avenue. This is all manner of showing what is literally all over the place, and the actual sun is not all over the place. The actual sun is also not remaining, as documentation reveals, 5:12 p.m., 7:40 in the morning. Take a look at a map. With regard to what is stalking with the light source, this is spectacular. This is very probative documentation, but you're also reminding what it is that you're documenting. This is supposedly the sun. That is documentation of what is remaining on a specific block, coincidentally, and I'm being facetious, over me in the morning. Today was what I captured, and setting in alignment with me, in perfect alignment with me in the evening as well, which is for purposes of what is the supposed to be the sun, a very small proximity, not going anywhere. In other words, not even advancing to what is another block. It's essentially remaining in alignment. You understand, 630 North Fern is not far from what is Euclid Avenue. Okay, it's blocks away from what is Euclid. You're going up Euclid Avenue, and then you're in Upland, California. All right, now with regard to what is stalking with light, you can clearly see this stalking conduct. One venue is distinct from another. Maintaining all day presence over a specific venue is clearly that which is not characteristic of the sun. And then you're also looking at the bigger picture. This is maintaining presence over, and you can look at a map, and that's clearly not the sun either. And then where are you fitting in the fact that, oh, the actual sun is documented in the city of Fontana? And I documented that every hour of the day for this time of year, every hour of the day. When is that fitting into the equation? Oh, this must be some sort of impossible suggestion that it's coexisting over the Fontana Lewis Library roof all day long while it's remaining specifically from 630 North Fern to the venue where I'm ending the day inside of the Upland Public Library, because that's not possible. That's not what's going on. That's not that's not reasonable to even posit, and it is not the conduct of the sun. All right, so I just want to be clear. This is every way in which you are looking at what is this conduct of stalking with a light source. And so anyway, it is seen through what is, and I'm rattling through a lot of that analysis, but it's captured on video. And the bigger picture is with regard to what is that impossible, that ridiculously asinine conduct of remaining all day long over a single building. All right. And this is what I'm also showing with regard to what is the light source that remains over me at 7:40 in the morning. And then you're talking about what is doing nothing other than following and remaining over me as I go to the city of Upland, period. And that's just because I went to Upland. If it was going to the city of Fontana, the entity is, and that's exactly the public entity that is acting as a puppet to the demonic entity, Satan itself, following to what is the city of Fontana, east of the city of Ontario, all right, and would remain there for as long as I am, essentially ending the day with the sun setting, which I also document at 5 p.m. 5:12 p.m. This is not going to be seen while I'm inside of the Upland Public Library, and also in perfect alignment with me while I'm standing in front of the brick wall at 5 p.m. No, this is a pattern. You're seeing what's that pattern? That light source is always over me. Always over me. All right. So anyway, it's currently 10:24 a.m. And again, I still am not at the Upland Public Library yesterday, but I'm just documenting what it is that I spoke to yesterday. The light source remains over me while I'm walking through, documenting the city of Upland, the people of the state, and their third-party facilitating venues within the zone of relevant positioning as I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism. And as I capture while I am across the street, and you see the street sign, it's not over the Upland Public Library, it's right over me, over the street sign where you see Arrow Highway. And again, as I pointed out in that video, while I am at this venue of the Upland Public Library earlier in the day, which is exactly what I captured, and the light source is over me at the Upland Unified School District as I am en route to the Upland Public Library on the opposite side of the street, not walking anywhere through that neighborhood of the Upland, of the people of the state, of the housing area behind the Euclid Avenue, and by behind I mean west of Euclid Avenue. So I'm walking down what is Palm, as I documented, and walking down what is Laurel, as I documented, and not advancing more north than Arrow, okay? And then able to also capture what is at 5:12 p.m. inside of the Upland Public Library, that same block, that same square of block, and the light source is remaining over me, aiming direct light inside of the Upland Public Library. And so that is the bottom line. It is currently 10:25 a.m. and the light source is over the entrance, and doing so ahead of schedule, where I was not even here yesterday, and here it is over the entrance of the Obit Family Community Library, which again, this is isolation, okay? Because the bigger picture is my documentation already shows what is the mutually exclusive, meaning impossible to coexist, presence of that which is not possibly the sun at this time remaining over me at distinctly different locations, okay? It is currently 10:26 a.m. and this is the P.O.C. All right, this minion wearing a Prince and Fox blue sweatshirt. She's a Latina female wearing dark blue jeans, black tennis shoes. She's standing under the fake sun facing the entrance of the Upland Public Library, capturing images of what is group stalking, an operation of a communication device while the state is flying over my head, sitting at the monument of the veterans in front of the Upland Public Library. This is monitoring. All right, and this is what she's doing. It's currently 10:32 a.m. She's not acting by herself. She's acting as an entity, monitoring with communication devices, a demon that's standing right in front of me. Again, they are doing the same thing inside of the Upland Public Library, by the way. She is just standing outside in the entrance right in front while the state flies over by airplane. Flying over by airplane is the creation of amplified audible activity and relevant positioning by the government that's group stalking in the sky space, okay? It is 10:32 a.m. All right, capturing what is a demon that's pacing. This is Upland City Hall, and the demon that's pacing on a communication device in front of the Upland Public Library on a communication device under the fake sun. The shadow of the monument that I'm sitting behind is gradually moving in order to touch me with directed light, while this demon is pacing in front and pacing behind, doing so with noise. Pushing a cart is the creation of audible activity while you're crossing path. It's facilitating audible activity while a demon is pacing in front of me, entering and exiting of the Upland Public Library and the Upland City Hall, walking to and from. These are demons that are pacing around. But I want to show you what I'm showing. This demon that's wearing the Prince and Fox sweatshirt, she's pacing back and forth. This is the same conduct that's occurring via traffic. This is the same conduct that's occurring while I'm in the car, while I'm standing outside of the car. And what is the ongoing pattern? The fake sun remains directly over me. The ongoing maintenance of presence in the path is occurring while I'm inside of the venue, and the entity is cycling directed light all day long, and minions are walking all around inside of the venue. It's the same pacing of that entity, all right? Sitting in the study rooms is loitering and sitting in alignment, entering and exiting those studying rooms for purposes of crossing path, walking back and forth in front of the studying rooms as I capture those demons, stalking with activity, which is amplified inside of the study rooms. This is how the same exact pattern of conduct is underway. It is currently 10:40 a.m. It is currently 1:22 p.m., capturing the particular third party that is acting on behalf of an entity. This is the sex offender that is the state coming into the bathroom, which is called relevant positioning, where ongoing surveillance is underway. And I'm also showing you what is the directed light that is remaining, including the same position on that wall as I showed you at 5:12 p.m. and 4:14 p.m. All the entity, this is demonic activity, all the entity is doing is not only remaining with a light source. This is the indication of surveillance inside of a private space. That's terrorism inside of a private space. And you have a stalker following you into the bathroom, that stalker representing the government, and also acting with regard to what are communication devices and demons who surround in what is that directed light serving to surveil you in violation of existing federal law. This is what is captured. It's currently 1:23 p.m. This is documentation of what is the ongoing pattern of conduct, the federal stalking by an entity, and what are the private spaces, this one being the bathroom at State Facilitating Venue Upland Public Library. This minion, this is an African-American female. She's walking upstairs in directed light. She's in the bathroom in what is directed light. The fake sun remains over the venue, and directed light is remaining all throughout the entirety of that, which I also capture. It does not change, but this is just speaking to that ongoing documentation as you are looking at what is a sex offender while the P.O.C. is underway, as you're looking at what is the stalker, which is while the pattern of conduct is underway, and engaging in what is that stalking conduct inside of what is referred to as a private space, where that government is ceaselessly engaging in what is an invasion of privacy by an entity, while you are under what is being placed under surveillance, and which is the criminal act of the government, doing it in concert with the people of the state. And what's relevant with regard to the light, not only monitoring with communication devices, this is stalking with light, which is entirely demonic. It's 1:24 p.m. And let me just, with regard to understanding, again, the bigger picture of stalking with light, I draw continuous examples as you are separating it from where I currently am. So, for example, on Sunday when I'm at the Fontana Lewis Library and I'm showing you at 11:41 in the morning the fake sun that's directly over my head while I'm at that property, standing in front of, by the way, the same brick wall where I stood at 5 p.m. the week prior, and showing you what is the remaining with a light source. That is the impossible presence of what is not, that is the impossible vision of what is a light source that is not the sun. Okay, this is at 5 p.m. So on Sunday, I documented what is the light source that's directly over my head as I stood at that same position on the sidewalk outside of the Fontana Lewis Library at 11:41 a.m. The light source remains over that venue. This is also, let me be clear, the light source remains over that venue for the entirety of my stay at that Fontana Lewis Library in the city of Fontana. All right, that documentation in and of itself is speaking to the pattern of conduct as I documented it this morning, let alone you're talking about what is fully revealing a system of stalking with light, not only by government. You're talking about what are the people of the state, molesting with directed light, stalking with directed light, terrorizing via directed light, the light source remains over the Fontana Lewis Library. So with regard to what is understanding stalking with what is not possibly the sun, while that light source is cycling directed light, which remains in the same position it is after 5 p.m. as I documented on video yesterday, you have what is the light source that remains over the Fontana Lewis Library present as I am leaving, walking through the parking lot, walking on what is Arrow Highway in the city of Fontana at the intersection of Sierra Avenue and Arrow Highway, and the light source is in alignment with me while I'm on that street leaving from the property of the Fontana Lewis Library. So this is the migration, what is south, in alignment with me, stalking with light in this direction. All right, as I am walking south toward the Fontana Metrolink train station. This is where I'm capturing the third-party Amazon Prime in traffic, documenting Fontana Police Department in traffic while they are stalking in the path. This placement of the light source and the remaining of that light source is mutually exclusive to what would ever be the actual sun over the roof of the Upland Public Library. That's just one example. Not only did I capture the light source there, it remains there upon exit. But while I am here on another day and you are documenting what is the nature of the conic, which is supposed to be the sun, so the nature of that documentation is going to reveal that ongoing impossible presence of that light source, which is not the sun as we know it. And the entity is filling this venue with what is directed light and also maintaining what is a light source that is not possibly the sun, not mutually remaining over the property and in alignment with me at the property in the city of Fontana at the Fontana Lewis Library, following en route to that Fontana Lewis Library, which is also documentation necessary to showing what is the maintenance of that presence. And showing what is none other than following with a light source that is not possibly the sun, while with regard to what is stalking inside of a bathroom, while that impossible placement of that light source remains over that particular venue where you are in relevant position, and you are in relevant position what is a private space engaging in that demonic targeting system. That is the sex offender, and that is surrounding that sex offender with that evidence. This directed light is inside of the Upland Public Library. It's 1:27 p.m. This is P.O.C. Documentation of what is federal stalking by entity in the bathroom. 5 WSB 861. It's 6:53 p.m. 8 VWT 322. 8 KYC 822. 65648 P2. That is a school bus. It says first student on it. 32521G1. 8 SQS 756.
As much of your stuff that I can.
6W. Oh, I can't really see that. You just got some. W138A0 7ZPV 122. 8DAA025.